Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome everyone to episode 25 of the Daily Mother Swole. Thank you so much for joining on Periscope, Busker, YouTube. Thank you for listening in on SoundCloud, on iTunes. This is fantastic. This is good stuff. Today is going to be a little bit highbrow, and those of you that might be tuning in or listening or looking at the title and you see negative feedback system, don't be scared. Don't get scared. Don't get your nipples all twisted, because this is something that you're very familiar with, and it's very, very important, and your body is doing it all the time. So, of course, the more you know, the more you can act on these items, the more you can understand your body, the better you can deliver yourself results. So let's get into the tits right now. Negative feedback systems. What this means pretty much is referring to a term or is acting upon a term that you're probably familiar with, homeostasis, creating that balance. Your body is always looking to create balance. This is what the body does. This is how or why it's hard to lose weight. It's hard to gain weight, whether it's muscle or fat. Your body does not want to do either or. Your body wants to stay the same. Your body is essentially, in a way, if you want to think about it, lazy. It's work to lose and create a new normal. It's even more work to gain and to create a new normal. So there's a lot of elements that go into this homeostasis, but this balance, this evenness, this maintenance, so to speak, this even keel, this cruising situation that your body goes into all the time, is always kind of juggling. It's always kind of juggling different situations, whether it's hot outside, whether it's cold, whether you're hungry, whether you're full, whether you're thirsty, whether you're not thirsty, whether you're tired. Your body goes through this juggling of homeostasis all the time to keep you alive, to keep you balanced. Of course, if your body temperature gets too hot, you can die. If your body temperature gets too cold, you can die. So there's a balance your body needs to create. Hello there on Periscope and Busker. So thank you everyone for tuning in live again. Now, these negative feedback systems are important, and let's go into quickly breaking into what it is. Let's break that down. Number one, your body has a stimulus. There's a stimulus, whether it could be a temperature change, it could be pain, any of these types of things. There's a stimulus, there's a change to a variable. Okay, so something around you in your environment, whether it's internal or external, something is changing. Then that information gets received by, guess what? A receptor. That receptor detects that change to the variable, that stimulus, and then responds. So it responds to that stimulus. That receptor receives that information and then triggers an initial response to the input. The input is also known as the afferent pathway, which I always like to break down afferent A at the body. It goes to the control center. So the afferent pathway goes to the control center, which is oftentimes the brain or the spinal cord. And that's what's going to determine, it's going to calculate processing. It's like when you call customer service and you can't get the right information, or you call customer service and they send you to a manager or they send you to the headquarters. Then the information that you need gets sent back, or they call headquarters. Headquarters tells the representative what to do, and then they take you off hold and they give you the answer. That's a better example. Okay, so the headquarters is like the brain, that's the control center. After the control center gets information, the output to what I just described as like the customer service rep that gives you the information, the output is the efferent, efferent direction, the efferent pathway. And E, I break that down to E meaning exit. So afferent at the body, E meaning exit. So you have stimulus, then you have a receptor, an input, and then an output from the control center to the actual gland, to, an action, physical. It's a response. It's some kind of response, whether it's a hormonal release, whether it's a physical activity. It will balance out whatever that initial stimulus was to create another homeostasis so the body doesn't continue to be out of whack. The reason why it's called a negative feedback loop is because, or negative feedback system or negative feedback mechanism, you might hear it a couple different ways defined, is because when, let's say, a stimulus, let's say, increases, your body affects a response to then decrease the result to bring the body back down. So it's a negative, it's an opposing response. This happens all the time. Let me give you one of the best, most relatable examples that you deal with pretty much every day, especially if you're in Florida. The thermostat. An automatic thermostat. For example, you set your thermostat at 77 degrees, just to pick a random number. That is the homeostasis. The thermostat is, its job is to maintain 77 degrees. So down here in Florida, let's say I have thermostat set at 77 degrees. Okay, that's cool. Awesome. I'll be nice and cool and chilly. My nips might get a little bit hard. Don't judge me. That's just what I'm into. When it gets hot outside, it gets to 85, 90 degrees. Let's say it gets above. Let's say it's below 77 at night. It goes up to 85. It goes up to 90. The thermostat senses this. The receptor receives that stimulus and says, oh, we got to tell the air conditioner to turn it up. So the information goes into the computer, that mechanism in the air conditioning. The air conditioning turns on because it's an affected response. The efferent output turns on the air conditioning, which therefore drops the temperature back down. So whereas inside the room, when it gets to be 85 or 90 degrees outside, all of a sudden it becomes, 78, 79, 80. The air conditioning turns on. It gets cooler in here, and then the temperature comes back down to 77. Likewise, if it gets colder at night, and let's say it drops down to 74, let's say, for example, the heat turned back on. Oh, it's 74. Dash 1 says 77. So the same processes will take place to put the heat on and then raise the temperature from 74 to 77. So there's that balance, that negative feedback loop, where the temperature drops too much, the body will, or the system, the air conditioning unit, that same example, will affect a response to raise it back up, to bring it back to that normal homeostatic level. Okay? Everyone's following so far, I believe. So that's the best example I can give you. And your body actually does that with its own thermostat inside. That's why you sweat, to cool the body off. Your body gets hot, your body starts to sweat, or it triggers the response to sweat, which gives off heat, and then the body can cool back down to maintain, the 90, the 98.6, and whatever is determined now to be the actual realistic core body temperature. I'm not sure if it's exactly still technically 98.6, but it's around there. Another example, and this has to do, if you're diabetic, or if you have someone in the family, or a close relative or a friend who's diabetic, you've heard of the things like insulin. These are insulin and glucagon. These are hormones released by the pancreas. And if you don't know what the pancreas does, then this episode is for you. You know what I'm saying? You're getting edumacated. The pancreas releases and regulates blood glucose. If you have low blood glucose, your body will release glucagon, which breaks down glucose from the liver and from muscle cells in order to increase sugar levels in the blood. If when you eat and your body is digesting, you're digesting carbs and you're absorbing glucose into the bloodstream, your body then releases insulin, which is like a taxi cab that drives around the bloodstream, picking up glucose and bringing it to the muscle and to the liver to store the blood sugar. So you have this balance where, there's sugar in the blood. It's too high. Your body releases insulin in order to clear it out. Oh, the blood sugar is too low. We need more. Well, there's nothing around. Let's release glucagon to release stored glucose from the liver and from the muscles. So this is a negative feedback system. Too low, your body does X, Y, Z, brings it back up. Too high, your body does A, B, C, and brings it back down. Okay, this is a negative feedback system again. I'm going to give you two examples. Most of the examples in the body are going to be negative feedback systems because your body is all about homeostasis. That's what a negative feedback system is just creating that balance. Too high, bring it back down low. Too low, bring it back up high. This is what your body does all the time to maintain That's what your body does to maintain. That's why it's hard to gain weight, gain muscle, lose fat, lose weight. It's hard to change because your body doesn't want to. It's resisting every step of the way. It's defensive. Your body will resist. That's why it's so hard. So don't get pissed off. I can't lose weight. Oh man, I don't look like, so-and-so on TV. I want washboard abs like that. It's hard. Especially if you create bad habits. Your body doesn't want to change. It's designed. Your body, the human body, is designed to resist change. It's designed to maintain. It's designed to stay the same. It's designed to protect itself. It's designed to not be exposed to too many variables that can risk its survival. The main reason, the two main reasons, any way you slice it, the two main reasons for existence on this earth, or what the body does, the body just stays alive. And the second is to reproduce and make more humans. That's it. Human beings, we complicate so many things because we think we have higher brain function. When you see what's going around in the world, I don't know if we have that much higher brain function. We create iPhones, but we also do some pretty stupid shit. You have survival and reproduction. That's it. Stay alive and make more of us. So the body will do everything. It's designed to stay alive. It's designed to stay the same. It's not designed to change. It can adapt. I'm not saying you can't adapt when you move from a hot climate or a cold climate to a warm climate, but there's a reason why it's hard to find a planet that has, this is able to, have hospitable life, because there's so many, like the molecules in the air. Like if the sun were very slightly closer to the earth, we would be dead. Like everything is just perfectly balanced for us to survive. If the global temperature drops like a degree, half the species are going to be wiped out. That's how extreme things get. That's why global warming and all these issues are concerns, because very subtle changes can wipe out thousands or 100,000s of species. I'm not going to give you exact stats, but you can look this stuff up. It's all true. Subtle changes will change entire ecosystems and wipe out species like that. It will just eliminate. That's what happened with the dinosaurs, supposedly, and all these different things. Okay? I think, honestly, the dinosaurs didn't have any bacon, just got depressed and said, fuck this, and punched out. That's what I think. Because I don't think there was bacon back there. And a world without bacon, would you want to be in it? That's what I thought. And this is just my theory. Again, my opinions, my theories. I pretty much think that's spot on. I think that's spot on. All right. Two positive feedback mechanisms that are popular. Two positive feedback mechanisms. Now, pretty much, I gave you like one or two, the temperature, regulation of body temperature, sweating, and the blood glucose. Those are two really common, very acceptable, and very understandable negative feedback systems. There's hundreds of them. There's so many of them. Two major ones that you should be aware of that are positive. Not a lot of them. One is pregnancy. Okay, oxytocin is released and creates, the vaginal contractions when the female is going into pregnancy. And those contractions trigger an increased release of more oxytocin to increase the contractions so, the baby can be born. So the pregnancy, the delivery, the labor can continue. So that's an example of a positive where the release of one hormone triggers the release of even more of it. So that's positive. And obviously that's a very important one. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. Another one is blood clotting. When there's damage, when there's physical damage and trauma to a blood vessel, platelets are released. The presence of those platelets in the blood for blood clotting triggers the release of more platelets and more platelets until the damage is blocked, until the clot is sealed and there's no more bleeding and so forth, and the body heals itself, which obviously is another very, very important one. So those are two very important positive feedback mechanisms and two examples of negative feedback. Most of the systems in the body are negative feedback. Okay? I'm sure there are more positive feedback mechanisms. Those are the most important ones that you can be aware of. And what's even crazier than any of this I just told you is that the body just does this automatically. Your body gauges hunger. Like when you're hungry, it tells you you're not hungry anymore. When you're eating, when you're thirsty, hey, I'm thirsty. Okay, I drink water. Okay, I'm not thirsty anymore. Your body just does this stuff all the time. It's amazing how I'm telling you, and you're like sitting here thinking and studying like, oh man, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh man, you're trying to remember. People study this stuff for tests and exams. When in reality, you never have to know even how to speak a language. You just walk around the earth your entire life just kind of going, and your body will do all this stuff automatically. You don't have to know a thing. You don't even know how to speak. You could probably not even open your mouth except to eat or drink, and your body will just do all this automatically. And we have to like rack our brains to wrap our heads around, the processes that your body just does because it does that. That's just what it does. We're trying to break it down and analyze. But this is what your body does. So take this and kind of convert it into understanding how or why it's hard to lose weight, why it's hard to build muscle. This is why. Because your body doesn't want to change. Your body doesn't want to change. It's work. It's work to lose weight. It's work to change that way. And it's work to gain weight and build muscle. It's work either way. So next time you're frustrated, understand that your body, the human body, your body, is absolutely designed to fight you every step of the way when you're trying to make a change. That's also why for me, for example, when you're on a roll, when you've worked out and you've seen change and you've built muscle, if you create that new habit for 12, 13, 14 years, I can slack, I can cheat, I can kind of get away with not eating all day for a few days. I can go without working out for a week or two and just boom, bounce back into it because I've created that new habit, that new homeostasis for me. The normal for my body is to be like that. The normal for my body is to be fucking muscular, ripped, have long hair and a beard. That's my body's normal. It's pretty fucking sweet. But it didn't happen overnight. This hair didn't grow overnight. This beard sure as hell didn't grow overnight. And these muscles absolutely didn't grow overnight. I know that's just a ridiculous thing to say, but it's true. It's true. Yeah, I'm swole. That's right, Periscope. Swole, jacked, beefed, yoked, ripped, muscular, beefy. I'm a house. I'm a tank. I'm a barge, like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. That's right. Disney reference. Didn't expect that shit either, did you? You never know what you're going to get on the Daily Swole. So that being said, listen to your body. Be nice to it. Your body doesn't want to change, so you have to put the pressure on. This is another reason. I'm just tying this into everything. That's why consistency is so important. That's why doing the same thing every day, regularly, all the time is important, because then you force that adaptation. Everything's connected. Everything's connected with the body, with the tissues, with the muscles, with the joints, with the tendons. Everything's connected there, and everything's connected with all these systems. There's always a reason. There's always an application how this can cross platforms and cross over to some of the other things that we talk about with consistency, dedication, adaptation, variety. We talked about CrossFit 2 days ago about adaptation. You got to be consistent to see adaptation. Your body doesn't want to change. So if you give it random stuff, it's going to kind of be like, oh, I'm going to stay like this. I mean, the body is very interesting. The body is very interesting. It's very calculating, and it's very freaking lazy, and it's stubborn. So you have to really be strict with it. All right, let's take a couple questions. Here's a good one. Where's the whiskey drinker with the cowboy hat? Oh, you mean Eli? Well, Eli, he's out. I don't know. He's out there. He's probably out trying to look for. I think he went looking for Cheng. So who knows? He'll be back. Where's the whiskey drinker? Eli. Yeah, well, that crazy some bitch. Any other questions? I know that I just completely slam dunked that topic. So if you don't have any questions with that, cool beans, no big deal. I don't think you should have any questions. That's just pretty much a flat out statement. If you have any questions after, I'll stay for a few minutes on Periscope and Busker. And remember, you can message me on Snapchat. You can message me on Instagram. You can contact me on my website, Swolenormous.com. A couple things I have going down with my online clients and some incentives, some great things after a long weekend. My Kegel shirts on my website, Swolenormous.com. You get a 15-minute online fitness consultation. You could do that through Skype or FaceTime. And also, I've been doing it just through, pick and choose, doing specific case-by-case basis, but either later today or tomorrow, my online store with fitness packages and online training consultations and all these different things to help you get to your goals and get jacked and swole. And, I have this whole beard training program. No, I'm just joking. But a lot of people are asking me specific questions and have specific goals. And like I said about adaptation, you need specific guidance. You need specific training. You need a specific program customized to you. You don't need cookie cutter bullshit. You don't need group exercise. You need something that's designed for you, for your lifestyle, for what you do, and what your goals are. So that's super important. So that will be offered and that will be available. And if you follow me on Snapchat, which you should, at Swolenormous, then you will hear about it first thing. Also, check out my YouTube channel, new videos every day pretty much. And yeah, hit me up if you want to see a topic, hear a topic. If you have questions, I'm considering doing a Q&A separate video where any questions I'm emailed, I'll do a separate video and post them up as a separate playlist. You know, not sure, maybe, because I like questions. And I think a lot of questions that people are afraid to ask don't get asked. And then people that can benefit from them don't hear them. So things that people don't say here live that I might get privately on Snap should be out there. And I'll give you credit for the question in those videos. So that's an idea. So you can also snap me and let me know what you think about a separate Q&A little podcast where I do a little thing like this, but it's just Q&A, not even talking points, just a separate video. So just another thought, something else that I can offer you peeps, Swolenormous Nation, my homies. Thank you for joining me on this episode number 25 of The Daily Mother Swole. I will be back here tomorrow, obviously still gaining, and I'll be here at 12 noon Eastern time, live on Periscope, live on Busker, uploadable on SoundCloud and iTunes. So check that later today. It should be up within the next hour or two. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time on The Daily Swole. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Get large. Stay in charge. Peace out.